I'm Mike Bunn. I'm Director of Historic Blakely State Park, and I'm also Chairman of the Baldwin County Historic Development Commission, which is a volunteer board appointed by the Baldwin County Commission, which works to promote heritage tourism and history education throughout the county. We do that with several programs, such as our Shield and Banner program, which we use to help alert the public of significant structures throughout the county, historic structures. We also maintain a historic marker program, which marks historic sites throughout the county, and we also operate and maintain the Swift Coast Historic Home, which is a Baldwin County landmark, and Baldwin County's only historic home currently open for tours, and we operate that both as a historic site and a special events venue.
Hi, my name is Catherine Graham. I'm the house manager of Swift Coast Historic Home located here in Bon Secour, Alabama. We're currently sitting in the parlor of this 6,000 square foot historic home. The home sits on 5 acres of beautiful property surrounded by 150-year-old live oak trees. The home itself and the grounds have a lot of history. Bon Secour was originally started and colonized by French settlers. The Lemoyne brothers used this area as an R&R retreat for colonists. The French heritage focused on the fishing industry of the area, and the area with its waterways was extremely vital to the growth of this area. Without the waterways, we would not have the transportation that they offered, nor the fishing industry that would grow and prosper even today. The home was originally built in 1882, and the marker outside on the home signifies that time period. We believe that the home was originally built by French fisherman Thomas Gavin. The home was then purchased by Charles and Susan Swift in 1898, and we do have records on that. Charles and Susan owned and operated Swift Lumber Company, and one of their mills was actually located on this property. The beautiful heart pines that are laid in the original portion of the home that was built by Thomas Gavin are laid horizontally, which was common of the French style for that period. The rest of the home, if you take note, you'll see that the boards are laid vertically, which would have been the English style for the architecture of that time. During the early 1800s, architecture in South Alabama would have been mostly small frontier cabins. Cabins such as this would have been referred to as a dog trot possibly, with only having 4 rooms and the exterior walls of the hallway adjoining those rooms being bare, meaning that there would not be any exterior walls there at all, and that area would be used for ventilation because AC and heat did not exist at the time. This portion of the house, the dog trot area of the home, would have had a sitting room, the bride's room, the formal parlor, and the nursery or study. When Nick Coles purchased the home in 1976, after Susan, now Marshall, passed away, the nursery would become his office, and he would spend much time there. We have record that Charles and Susan purchased the home in 1898 from Thomas Gavin. And at that time, they began to expand the home. They originally moved into the dog trot area of the home with 7 children. They would go on to have 11 total children, and they would raise all of them within this home. Standing on the front porch of Swift Coast Historic Home, you will see the official Shield and Banner displayed. This Shield and Banner comes from the Baldwin County Historic Development Commission. There were 6 flags that flew over the county that influenced history and legends. 16th century was Spanish, 17th century is French, 18th century is British. We have the Alabama state flag, the 19th century Confederacy, and the 20th century United States. Baldwin County was formed in 1809, 10 years before Alabama actually became a state. Below the seal is a large salt kettle, one of the few remaining of the 990 kettles after the Yankees destroyed the prosperous salt producing business in Baldwin County during the Civil War. Bon Secour was well known for its salt industry. It was also well known for its fresh water. So during the Civil War, The Yankees certainly wanted to overtake this area for those two elements. As we walk into the dining room, we will see Mrs. Swift's kitchen. This was originally her kitchen. The china that lays on the table is only a portion of the china that Nick Coles furnished the house with. He has several sets, both complete and incomplete, and he has one very large, what we believe is a complete set of blue willow china imported from Japan and China. As you are in the dining room, you will notice on the wall a piece of technology that has been lost in the chapters of time, an old wall telephone. Ask a child of the 21st century if they even know what this thing is, and they will probably tell you that they do not. And you'll chuckle if you've been born before the 1990s, because you certainly know what that is. This old telephone makes us definitely think about time that has passed by, time that we have lost, and time that we should definitely look back on and reflect. The dining room, in which adjoins the family parlor, has a lot of history. Amelia Swift, which would have been Susan and Charles's daughter, resided in the home with her husband, Charlie Wakeford, during World War II. And during that time, Charlie and Amelia served meals to the local World War II soldiers in the area and gave them some entertainment, gave them some comfort during a very, very trying time. Their food was very well known, became very, very popular. And after World War II, Amelia started Mimi's Diner. Mimi's would go on to serve many important dignitaries, such as Governor Wallace. Her food was also transported all the way up north to Canada. And at the time, that was a great feat because refrigeration had not come very far. The family parlor that we are sitting in is part of the 1902 addition as the Swift dining room. Later, it was the Swift living room. Nick Coles called it the family parlor. The tiger maple dresser sitting here, also called fiddle maple, is the same wood used to make violins. Far right in the corner next to the fireplace is a Secretary American desk from the 1820s. Its unusual design of top drawer pulling out, front lowers writing surface. The top has Mr. Cole's collection of Napoleon figurines. The Welch dresser on the far wall is the second oldest furnishing in the house, circa 18th century. It was used for dressing meat. It currently holds blue willow china, pewter, iron keys, and copper measuring cups. Most other furnishings are from 19th century America. In 1920, the Swift family donated land and timber to build first one-room schoolhouse in the area. It still stands on County Road 10 as the Swift School. As we leave the parlor and we walk into the south entrance hall, this room is now used as the gift shop. This is the beginning of the 1902 addition, and it faces the Bon Secours River to the south. The chandelier in this room is American 1840 and from Kentucky. The sideboard is Victorian and comes from Kentucky as well. The painting above is believed to be the old Patterson store, which was located just east of the house. Above the desk is a painting of Mimi's restaurant. It was very popular and well known in the 1960s and 70s. It was owned and operated by Charles and Mimi Amelia Swift Wakeford. Fun Food Fables Cookbook also resides in our gift shop and is from Mimi's restaurant. As we move into the Charles and Susan Swift's bedroom, later Mr. Coles would call it his formal parlor. The Swifts' original bedroom furniture was recently donated to us by Janet Bird, a descendant of the Swift family. The mantel in this room is made of complete cypress, and it is the only one not original to the home. The gilded mirror and chandelier are from Paris. The draperies, from 1880, come from a Louisiana plantation home. The mirror, chandelier, drapery, settee, and wallpaper belong to Mr. Coles. The room to your right was the Swift nursery and then Mr. Coles' office. The Swifts used this as a nursery. When the bathroom was added until under the stairs, it took up part of this room. Mr. Coles made it his study. Two pottery-type jugs or urns called amphoras are encrusted with barnacles and now sit in this room. They were originally made to store and transport wine and olive oil and retrieved from the Aegean Sea off the coast of Greece. They are believed to be over 2,500 years old. This room also has a bronze sculpture of a horseman on bookcase, Come Drink the Wind by Thomas Holland, 20th century America. The painting on the wall is that of Nick Coles himself at the age of 40. Now we will move into the sitting room of the original house. The bed is black walnut, 19th century, and the wall to the right originally had a door on the right side of the bed and a window on the left side. Mr. Coles built the new wall in 1976. The clothing that is displayed in this room was donated by granddaughter Ione Swift. They are all handmade pieces, and they all belonged to the Swift family. The gold velvet rocking chair was where Mrs. Swift rocked her babies. The swords above the fireplace are Spanish. On top of the English oak highboy sits a tantalizer or cellaret, which is a portable liquor chest. Legend says that tantalizers were taken to duels in the South, and that is why small glasses of drinking alcohol are called shot glasses. Here we see the bride's room, probably the bedroom for the Swift girls in the original house. Family brides dressed here for their weddings and possibly spent their newlywed night here. Today it is still where brides get dressed. The armoire on the right is circa 1894. The cherry bed and dresser is circa 1880. And the fancy commode, toilet, is 19th century at the foot of the bed. As we walk into the upstairs master bedroom, this bedroom was originally used by the Swift girls and later was Billy and Ione's bedroom. All of the furnishings in this room were furnished by Mr. Coles. This four-poster bed has an acorn motif with a full-size trundle bed. This full-size trundle bed is extremely uncommon, as most trundle beds at the time would not have been as ornate as this one. The dresser has a duck egg motif that was very popular in the 1800s, and it was made by the P. Mallard Company, a prominent furniture maker in Boston, New York, and New Orleans. The oval photo on the dresser shows Billy and Ione Swift. The room to your left was originally another girl's bedroom. Later, Mr. Coles added the copper bathtub. On the table in the corner is a photo of Nick Coles sitting in this copper bathtub. The old look of the patina in this bathtub makes it very relatable to the age of the home. We will now view the upstairs southwest bedroom. This room features Swift furniture and Mr. Coles' vast collection of toys. The brass bed belonged to Emily Swift, and the quilt on the brass bed was made by Margarita Swift, daughter of Robin Swift. On the wall to the right are photos of granddaughter Ione Swift Jerkowitz, who is the daughter of Billy and Ione. Below photos are her bonnet, pink bathtub, and potty. In the corner is her baby crib. She was the only grandchild to live in the house. She and her parents and Aunt Emmy, who was also known as Emily, lived on the second floor. Her aunt kept her while Mother Ione was principal of Swift Consolidated School. This wooden flying horse with hammered metal overlay and marble inserts is quite a unique piece. As we walk now into the upstairs southeast bedroom, we will see that all of the furnishings here have been provided by Nick Coles. The bed and secretary are made of mahogany, and the bed has a pineapple motif symbolizing welcome. The print over the bed is an original Audubon style. This room was originally a Swift girl's bedroom. At the west end of the hall is Mr. Cole's collection of toys and children's furniture. This back porch was originally open to the outdoors with a railing similar to that of the stairway to your right. To your left is a cooling closet or pantry. It was opened from the ground up to allow the cool air under the house to rise and keep food items cool. This water trough is a replica of original water trough that was once stood here. As we stand here on the back porch, we see this little skiff, which was built by William Henry Swift around 1932 for his nephews. He carved a lot of oars, as they kept floating away over the years. Billy Swift's daughter, Little Ione, enjoyed the small boat during the 1940s on Bon Secour River, as you can see her here in this photo. As we make our way upstairs to the back porch, the rooms off the back porch were the boys' bedrooms called the Boar's Den. They were later Nick Cole's suite that he called his reserved dorm. It is now the office and storage areas for Swift Coles. The photos to your right are of Nick Coles. This one with the gold frame on the wall shows Mr. Coles in his Naval Air Cadet uniform at Polytech Institute, which is now Auburn University, before World War II. This photograph with the black frame shows Nick Coles dancing the Swan Lake in Washington, D.C. in 1950. Here you will see a menu from Nick Coles' restaurant, the Friendship House, as well as photos of the restaurant that was located in Gulf Shores, Alabama. On the southwest wall are framed newspaper articles by Walter Overton, a longtime Mobile newspaper writer. Thank you for joining me today during this amazing historical tour of the beautiful Swift Coles historic home located in Bon Secour, Alabama. Currently, we provide historical tours on a weekly basis, and we have opened the home for weddings and other private and public special events. For more information, please be sure to visit our website at swiftcoleshistorichome.com, as well as you can check out our social media feeds on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you again, and have a great day.